It's locked now. Stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Lisa. Here. Lori. Here. Chuck.
Here.
Linda's here. Tanya. Here. Jeremiah.
Here.
Tom.
Here.
All are present and accounted for. Please take a gander at your agenda. As far as I know, there are no further additions to the agenda.
Can I make a motion to pull off policy 520, 503, and 524?
Can you wait and do that in the consent agenda?
Yep.
Mr. Wilkinson, is there any additions to the regular agenda? I don't know.
Add the resignation of.
That's the consent agenda.
Oh,
Both of those are consent agendas.
you can probably remove the. Well, yeah, they're both consent agendas.
Okay, so regular agenda. Do I have a motion to accept?
I'll second.
Second by Lori. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the regular agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we're on the consent agenda. Lori.
520 is not on there, but I know it was listed in the handbook.
Okay.
So I make a motion to pull policy 520, 503, and 524 off and place maybe by the handbook since it relates to those.
Which is where?
Old business.
Old business?
It was posted on.
Okay.
Lori, just so I'm clear, it's just 524, not 524.5 also.
524.5, if it helps you, is about like cell phone.
It would
cell
be
phone
the-
use and stuff in it.
Cell phone policy, the Long Prairie Regal one that we approved in March. I don't know which part it is. Does it have its own policy number? I don't see it on this. It would be like this one.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
does the 24.5 relate to some of the cell phone policy in the handbook?
Let me take a look.
So this is 524.
I don't know the exact number, but I can find
This
it.
is the one that I approved.
I think it does, but the 524.5 is one I got from MSBA.
That would be this one, correct? Or is that this says 524.
There's a 524 and then there's 524.5, which I know specifically deals with cell phone and like I think video recordings addressed in there because it's a brand new one that MSBA finished because I was asking them about policies we were working on, and then because we've been waiting basically a year on it, and so they finally came up with one.
Otherwise, we could just put 524/524.5. Talk about both at when the time comes. Okay?
I believe that makes sense.
Okay. And then you wanted to take what out?
The John Deere tractor, that probably doesn't really need to be brought up at this time.
Okay. And then you said there were personnel things?
We have the resignation of Caitlin Petron, paraprofessional, to the consent agenda. And just a point of clarity, not in addition, the case CX70 tractor loader is case 2255.
Gotcha.
No, it's the CX70, not 2255. The 2255 was just the loader.
Oh, okay.
That's where I didn't see the whole number when I put the thing. So we went and checked it all out.
So I guess that would make it a correction, that would be the case CX70.
So then that loader is also,
The
Yeah,
loader is on
loader's
it,
the
and
2255.
The loader's
Yeah.
2255, yep.
So point of clarity.
Gotcha. Any other changes to the consent? I will need a motion.
so moved.
I'll second.
Jeremiah. Any further discussions? Any further discussion? Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Was there a reason why Caitlin left her?
Personal reasons.
Okay. Okay, down to reports, correspondence, and guests. Student representative? No? No. Okay, and
We have some, we have FFA.
I think there was Kurt.
that's, there with, yeah. So, to speak to us, Okay, then we have just one guest, it's Kurt, it's the only one you saw.
Yeah.
Kurt, you're up.
I'm gonna yield my time to Preston. Throw him to the fire, so hopefully he makes it. If he passes out, I gotta stand by, so.
Uh-oh.
Good evening, LPGE School Board. I am Preston Wheelenberg. I am the 2025 to 2026 Treasurer of the LPGE FFA chapter. We are here to ask permission to attend and support the FFA National Convention held in Indianapolis, Indiana. The dates for the convention are Monday, October 27th to Saturday, November 1st. We have made reservations through WD Tours, the same group we used in 2023. We will be leaving after school Monday, October 27th and loading the chartered bus for Indianapolis. We will drive through the night and get to the convention center on the 28th for registration. We will attend the opening ceremony sessions along with other sessions during the convention. There are numerous workshops and the largest agricultural career fair in the United States. Students meet with prospective employers and secondary education contacts to assist them with their future plans. We have tours planned during the events for local attractions like the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, convention concerts, rodeos, and other fun events. Our chapter members have been assisting with activities this summer to help pay for the trip. Individual registration is $95 for the early rate. The concert will run about $75. We can get tickets, the rodeo is $40, and $20 for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We went to Indy Scare Park in 2023 and it was a hit, and we would like to go again, and that'll be another $30. Students have been working on the registration and entertainment fees in the amount of $260. We are asking for hotel accommodations and busing costs at about $730 per student. We have 16 slot availables with our booking in June and can adjust numbers if we need to, as we're looking for your support to attend the National FFA Convention. Any questions?
What was the amount again?
$730 per student.
You have most of that raised, I assume. No,
I believe so.
I just gave you $1,000.
And that money goes towards their entertainment stuff and their registration fees, so yeah, we got that.
Good.
And how many did you say, do you have some signed up or ready to go? Or you
I have a whole bunch signed up, but I've got 16 slots available. So
So how do you decide who goes and who doesn't go?
the amount of time they've helped us out, so like with the ice cream machine, and we did 3 things this summer. We helped out Eco Bendays selling ice cream. We helped out American Foods Group both at their afternoon banquet at Lake Charlotte, and then they did the golf tournament. We helped them out in both of those. So they've been busy raising money this summer, and Gem Fest, which was like a big hit.
Long day.
Yeah, I always assume I'm gonna be fried when I get down, and that's usually the case.
At least it wasn't hot this year.
Oh, I'd have been dead if it was. I think myself, I fried up over 7 boxes of hamburgers.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Mr. Juristic? I have a question for Mr.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quick.
Is that about $10,000 you're asking for?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have like other, music programs, they have so much, do you plan on raising any money for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
to
we're
offset it a little
continuously
bit?
fundraising until we go.
Yeah,
but we
so
just wanna
that'll
make
offset
sure
the
we can-
10,000, you just need
we can-
whatever extra.
Yeah, we wanna make sure that we can cover it because on September 4th, I have to have firm numbers to them
Yeah.
to keep our spots.
And it's a week long?
Yeah.
When do you come back? November
November 1st.
1st?
And then do they have to approve it with their principal, just
Yep.
so that their grades are good? So they
Absolutely.
can't miss a week of school with, good, okay.
Gotta be on the level.
It's a fantastic opportunity, thank you for doing that.
Any other questions?
In 2023, do you happen to know how much you raised towards that? Help give perspective.
It was somewhere around $4,000 we had towards it. So,
October
like
27th.
I said, we've got the ice cream machine and stuff like that, we're doing all right. So, but it's gonna take time.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll have quite a few games even before we go. So we're hoping we can generate some more funding that way.
How much have you raised so far?
We've raised about $3,500.
Okay.
Yep. So we've got a ways to go, but
I just gave you 1,000 tonight.
there you go. I know American Foods Group is gonna be giving us 1,000 for the one day. I'm not sure what they're giving us for the next one. And I think we made $600-700 for selling ice cream, Eagle Bend days. It all adds up, but it takes time for the kids to
So
come
it's
and
still
volunteer.
flowing in, the
Right.
donations are still coming in.
Wonderful. Congratulations and go have a good time.
Thank you.
Need a motion, do we need a motion to make that work? Yes, we do.
I'll make a motion to allow them to go.
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to allow the FFA to head down to the Nationals. They will earn all the money to get there. Do we have any further discussion? Any more discussion? Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we get to go. Activities report.
Anything for me?
Got your coaches hired yet?
All for fall, we're good to go, and a couple for winter yet, and a couple for spring, but I got leads on most of them, so.
Good, good. And the donkeys are coming for sure?
Yep, November 22nd.
Where are your pads?
That'll be, yeah, I'm really excited about that, it'll be a fun, different fundraising.
Yep.
Opportunity.
Will that be an afternoon or an evening?
It's gonna be a Saturday at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm sure she needs people to ride the donkey.
They do. About October 22nd, I'll start marketing more for that
There's
as.
a couple teachers out there that look like they might have fun doing it.
I will be quite busy that day.
Yeah, so our hope is that his full length, right, that's what the
Musical.
the musical will be at 4, 2 or 4, we haven't decided
We're
yet.
working on it.
And then we'd hopefully have like a community meal, and then we'd go to donkey basketball, so we're hopefully gonna make a whole day of it.
Sure. Cool. Sounds good.
Watching.
Yeah.
Donkeys have been around for a long time. We used to do them in Gray.
Yeah.
They were crazy. They hurt a lot too. Okay, nothing else for our Kelsey? Okay, then, community ed. Congratulations, Mary Schmidt. I'm first.
Okay, Joe, from presentation tonight, and all of you probably know her, but she's been around for a while. Tonight, we have the privilege of recognizing someone whose impact on our school, our families, and our community runs deep. It is with immense gratitude that we celebrate Mary Schmidt. Mary's been at the heart of our community ed program for over 30 years. Over that time, she has taught more than 400 classes, reaching children, parents, preschoolers, and adults. Think about that for a moment. 400 opportunities to share knowledge, inspire curiosity, to build confidence, and to bring people together. Mary's classes have not just taught skills, they have created memories for many of the families, including mine. Her classes were the first step into school the experiences of learning, and the first connections to our community with many of our kids. She has been a steady, welcoming presence, offering both expertise and kindness to every student who comes through the door. What makes Mary truly remarkable is not her dedication, but her heart. Everything she does with passion. She does it for the gift of helping people be educated. Her patience, her encouragement, and her joy in teaching have left a lasting mark on this school district. Mary, on behalf of our school, our community education program, and all of the students and families that you have touched, thank you. Thank you for giving so generously of your time, your talents, your energy. Thank you for reminding us what it means to serve with a passion. We are deeply grateful for your years of commitment, and we look forward to many, many more. Please join me with a round of applause for Mary. As a sign of our gratitude, we have a plaque for you. It says, "In recognition of our outstanding service as a community education instructor for Long Prairie Eagle, your dedication to teaching children, adults, and preschools has enriched lives, strengthened our community, and inspired a lifelong love of learning. With appreciation, Long Prairie Eagle Schools Community Education, August 2025.
Camera so everybody up there can see.
So
Thank you, Mary.
we want to thank Mary.
Years I used to hire.
Yes. So we have Tammy. I know Tammy, when she was community ed director, she did a number of classes for Tammy and a number for Linda also. So thank you.
I'm sure you talked for Deb Gerger as well.
Yes, I did.
And you know.
Anything else for me since I'm up here? I'll give you a little update on 21st Century. There is no update. I specifically called Monday, and I specifically called Wednesday to ask. And I got a hold of the head of the Department of Competitive Grants, and she told me the exact same thing as the other person I had talked to. What is happening is that this has become a political football, and it is stuck in, to quote her, in an area that's way above her pay grade. So they are waiting to hash it around, make it work. And I did tell her that, how important it is to our community and all the things that we do with it, and she knows that because she's been at a lot of the meetings that we've went to. She also said that she feels sorry for us because we haven't hired back 2 people and we've been trying to run the program with 2 people because we didn't want to hire somebody and then have to let them go. She knows that that's a huge thing for our community and for our school. So they have passion for us, but she said there's just no movement at all. So we're hoping and we keep trying. Our plan is to go ahead with everything. We're going to try to offer as many programs as we possibly can for pay. And if we get the grant, we would pay the kids back. That's what we're doing with cheerleading is our first one probably. We're doing cheerleading. Because of the cost, thank goodness we have some volunteer coaches that were nice enough to say that they'll do it. And then we're offering the kids, they have to pay $50 and then some money for a uniform rental that they're going to keep. And then if we get the grant, we'll pay every one of those kids back those things. So that's how we're trying to move forward. So we still offer those opportunities for the kids. We're running it all through community ed at this point. So there might be some fluctuation up and down with community ed funds, but that's what we're going to try to do so that kids still have the opportunities. The big things that, of course, are going to make a difference are we're still working at the activity bus, Bolt, TAP. Those things are very expensive programs. So that's where it's going to get tough. Same way with our robotics. In order to offer robotics, we figured it out, Barb and I did, and it would have cost us $455 a kid last year. And that does not include entry fees and those kind of things that Dave Nelson got a grant. I helped him write a grant last year that paid for those. So we're hoping that something comes through So,
And with cheer, it didn't really deter the girls.
No.
We still had 14 out, so there's still a good number out even with,
Are we offering a sliding scale for the individuals that maybe couldn't afford full price?
we always do. So there's the Lions Pay It Forward, which Kelsey and I both have. How we do it is that we go on free and reduced price lunch applications. So if they're free, and this is for any community education plan, if they get free lunch, they get the program for 75% off. So if it was $10, it'd be $2.50. If they're reduced, they get it for 50% off. So it would be $5 for a $10 class. So that's how we handle it, and that's how we're going forward with this until, money runs out, which we hope it doesn't, so. And, I know Daniel has talked to people too, trying to rally them to make a decision, so. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Mary. Wonderful.
So anybody knows any businesses that wanna sponsor robotics? We're interested. We'll put your logo on the robot.
Let Daniel know.
Yes,
All right.
that was serious, by the way.
Okay, technology, folks. Anything for Mitchell?
did I see that 7th and 8th graders are now bringing their Chromebooks home? Did I read that somewhere?
They are, everything's staying the same as last year.
Okay, because they were staying at school, now they're coming home, okay.
There
I
was
thought I
enough-
read that somewhere,
There was
but-
enough time to make changes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thought I read that maybe in one of the handbooks, somewhere I read it. It was like, whoa.
Right, did, me and Mr. Rude visited and we just figured we need more time for details.
Okay.
So that we roll it out, that it's well organized and set up for success.
So maybe next year they would keep them.
Yeah,
If
we're
there's
still
enough time.
looking at it, cause as you guys remember, at the end of last year, we had trying to set the Chromebook on fire. And I'd like to point to the experience that 4th grade actually had, and Mrs. Sabula, feel free to jump in if you feel like it, but the 4th grade teachers, kudos to them, actually did kind of like a little experiment where they kept the Chromebooks at school. And the thing I noticed is the guy that walks around in the morning is the kids start talking to each other instead of playing their games in the morning. And then when we compare that against Mitchell's data that they weren't using it for school primarily, that it seemed like it was a better use of the technology. Because the one thing you gotta keep in mind is every time you run that battery down, it's shortening the lifespan. So like if it's not being used for school, then it's a pretty expensive not school thing. Like there's a big non-school expense is the way I would put it. But yeah, it's definitely a great tool for kids, so it's like, how do you balance that?
Any more questions for technology, folks? All right, business manager, Miss Sherry. Anybody have a question for Sherry?
Thanks for including these graphs in our core book.
You're welcome. Yeah, there'll be some good details going forward now that we get our third year of information.
I can look at numbers all day and it's a lot easier when you see it presented in a graph form.
We were speaking with the finance committee beforehand and just something so that you guys are aware, we're taking a look at what we could possibly do with our general fund dollars to invest in. Like last year we earned $400,000 in interest, and that's because the market is high right now over here. And if we could find a way to lock it up so that we keep that revenue as the market goes down, we're like looking at what that might look like.
Anything else for Sherry? Principals, you're up. National Night Out was a success, I hear? Yes.
It didn't turn out not as good as last year, but, it was sprinkling and raining right away. But everybody showed up after it started to settle down. We just had a delayed group coming through, so that was a good conversation, so.
I do believe the participation in our little area was very, very good, like maybe we had less overall people, but higher number of people going through. you didn't have too many backpacks left, and a lot of names on football throwing, and the scavenger hunt, thanks to Mr. Sabula for putting together the items on that, and we had a lot of people participate in it. Thank you to everybody who did that, makes it a little more fun. Makes my night go fast.
It's a good thing, I
Can
think.
I ask questions?
Yep.
Are you ready for questions?
Sure.
How are we doing on staffing both schools? Are we there? We still got a few openings or?
I am short a WIN teacher at this point, and because that is a grant-funded position, I kind of have to work within a salary cap. And then I am short 2 paraprofessionals yet at this point.
You have candidates?
For paraprofessionals, yes, for WIN teacher, not at this point.
I'm short 3 pairs right now. We had an internal movement, this line for one over to cover Janice's position, so now we need Sid Sports Center, so that is a unique position in itself, so that's gonna take a unique individual, because we also run, we also have an intervention center there, we're working on that end of it also in that position, along with, disciplinary, but it's mainly that intervention portion that's, again, the meat of that time. Then we have two sped needs that are coming over to us, so that are gonna be requirements there. So we're short, I've got 2 possibly. Trying to nail them down, it's getting tough, so I might, if it all works out this week, I'll be only 1 short. We've got it advertised, we just don't have the applicants, but it's, the UNA district, we're all seeing the same thing, so.
Looking through the handbook, I just had a question. I didn't see in there the topic. I could have missed it though, because I was quickly browsing over it. But medical devices that connect to cell phones.
Put under electronic devices.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an umbrella, we didn't go through, smartwatches or anything, but put under electronic devices.
So, but like for the individuals that have sensors and stuff like that connected to their phone?
There's a carve out for those, I think that's the second paragraph.
Okay.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, the exception on the policy we approved is.
So we've got kids, we've got those for diabetes and
Yeah,
things
the
like that.
sensors.
And you gotta have that, I've got nieces, I've got the same situation, so it's very handy, it's very life-saving, so, yeah.
Any more questions?
Are you back at the high school yet with the HVAC system?
Well, it depends on how long you can tolerate the humidity. If you can stand it for 3 to 4 hours, God bless Amy and Audrey, tenacious and tougher than nails. But we're getting the glycol, so they were lifting, if you drove by today, we had cranes out there. We didn't know the cranes were coming, so the cranes showed up. So we're lifting units up, the glycol's been pumped out and flushed out, so it's ready to go. It's gonna take a while, though, it's gonna take, so it should be, we're next week, 22nd, and Daniel might have more about that than I do, but 22nd is our hard date to get back. And everything's getting cleaned up, it looks good in there. I know Russ and his crew are scrambling to get everything squared out. I'm not too concerned about that, I am concerned to get that glycol in there, because it's gonna, you don't flip the switch overnight and just go, because there can be leaks and everything else, so. Yeah. It's getting there. It's just a little stuffy.
And the system should be functional outside of the glycol, so a matter of getting it switched in there and circulating. Like people should be able to be in the building, need hard hats or stuff, but and I need to get an update from them where they left off, because they were kind of hustling to clear everything out on last Friday. And as I said in my one weekly update, there was a leak, a small one, but that affected FCS room, the Family Consumer Science. So yeah, just a lot of moving parts at the very end. I know the custodians are able to move things back if you could.
I drove by school today, it's the first time I've been on that side of the building for a long time. I see the symbols or the things in the doors. And they're on that door that nobody ever uses, how come we chose that door instead of it?
On the elementary?
Yeah.
Because that door looks directly into the hallways and you could see children
Sure.
in the hallways, so I covered it.
I knew there was a logical reason for that, now I know.
These doors right over here?
Or they're over there.
On the inside.
Oh.
They're new doors that never had windows in before, and when they put them in, they came with windows, and suddenly we could see kids, and that wasn't okay.
Yeah, I understand that.
Pretty way to address a safety concern.
For sure, it looks very nice, I like it.
Yeah.
There for board stuff, we had our first strategy session for negotiations with custodians today. Has anybody gone to any workshops or anything fun like that? Any board members got anything to say, fun and exciting?
I wanna extend a thank you and a good job to those that were at the National Night Out, the Latino Fest, and involved with it. It's good to see you out in the public and giving us positive
Latino Fest.
vision or things to see in the public.
Okay, anything else? Mr. Superintendent, sir?
I'll first start with questions on the reports. Obviously, it's a quieter month usually.
So will they be paying for the activity bus?
We don't know if we have 21st century, well, I guess that is a question for you guys, like, I think there'll be a lot of things to cover in costs, and I guess from before we had 21st century, we didn't have the activity bus had been something that had been cut previously, and so, I think if we don't get 21st century, we'll probably be looking for other places to spend the money. And one of the possibilities that goes along with that, and Mr. Evenson alluded to that, we probably have to reduce the number of days that we offer Bolt. And that can either be done by squishing the calendar together so there's less days that way, or having it less days per week.
And right now it's 3 days a week, is that right?
Yeah, and we can, and they can maintain that because Target Services does pay for that. But we pay for all the overages, all the paraprofessionals, and then we help pay for Tuesday. Because it used to be both with just Monday, Thursday, and then we added Tuesday in, so we pay for a lot of the stuff on Thursdays. And then obviously in summer, we pay for a lot of that. So those would be the two areas that they're pretty, obviously with all the teachers and stuff, it becomes pretty big financial burden.
I have put on some communications there just to prepare parents that, hey, like, you know, you're likely going to see fees if we don't get 21st century. We have to currently move forward like we're not getting it, and that, like I anticipated there being an issue continuing the activity bus. And so I guess that is a good thing to ask, as what is the opinion on that? And mine is largely shaped on that if the compensatory aid does not include using paper forms, I mean, I don't see how we would avoid having to downsize in some ways. And I don't mean to scare anybody, I'm just saying that if that's the case, like, that's gonna be problematic for our school district due to how many free and reduced numbers we gain through paper forms, which is why we wrote that article for the paper about direct certification. And so if your family qualifies for county programs, I mean, from the school's perspective, and they may feel a bit differently about it, but we'd encourage you to be counted. Because those numbers really have a pretty significant impact on our finances.
How soon do we need to decide with the activity bus? Like, when do these programs start? Do we have, like, till September when we can?
So, generally, Bolt starts either the week or it depends on the calendar and how many weeks we have. So what we do is we try to run Bolt for about 30 weeks. So you take out Christmas break, you take out some other things. MBA, you take out some of those, so if you think about that, it's usually probably like that third week in September or so.
Okay.
We have supplied the activity bus before that for 7th and 8th graders playing sports. So generally, the activity buses started next week or the week after at the latest is what it's been, you know, first week of school. So, yeah, that's a tough one.
And I know, was that in your report that November and December drop with people riding?
I had in the updates, like,
Yeah.
it was in my report, but you guys would have received a detailed
Yep.
weekly update that had the month by month. And so you can see that there's periods of time where it's lower and higher, not too surprising. So it varied the bill from, you know, a little, just shy of 1,000, which would be the exception, to almost 4, I think it was. So, and that detail, and I just didn't include all that in the reports because you have enough paper.
Right. I'm just wondering, you know, like if we need to decide something now or if we can wait or, you know.
Well, I'm thinking we can cover the beginning because we may have some leftover money. That's what we're working on right now. Sherry and I are supposed to work on that tomorrow or Wednesday. What we're doing is we're crunching all the numbers because I was very conservative over this last 6 months when we didn't know. So there is some money available to probably prepay. So there might be a possibility to do that with Excellent is to prepay at least a month or two, so that we would have a buffer. That's what we're trying to leave with that, so there is a little bit of money there that can be billed if they'll allow us to pre-bill by, I think we have to have it in by September 30th, I believe is the last day we can bill. If we can bill by September 30th, we could pay for a couple of those months, pre-bill, so that the school would actually get some free activity bus off of last year's money. So that's what we're trying to do, trying to be, you know, preventative so that kids would have a chance to ride it. So, and then at some point the rubber will meet the road though.
Right.
At least we'll have a start of the school bus as a school year and stuff.
Well, and maybe those, you know, like, cause I think my 7th grader would probably ride it. I mean, I'd be willing, you know, to pay or make it, cause it's gonna save me time in picking up.
Right. So yeah, so there is a little bit of money left, because we had a reduction in staff. We didn't, when Mary left, we didn't replace her. When Alyssa left, we didn't replace her for a whole year, which was significant. Now, there was some increase in cost because of negotiations and stuff, et cetera, but there's some money there. So our plan is to try to prepay that, and then at some point you guys are gonna have to make that choice. That's where we're at.
Sounds like a sticky situation. We're gonna see more of it, I'm sure.
Sounds like they just need to give us our money.
Yeah, that would be.
Well, we need an answer for at least, I mean, like, it's kind of insane if you think like, I mean, we're fortunate to have the staff we do because, I mean, I know other programs, like, I mean, you have to have, you can't expect people to wait around to just see if they have a job or not. But, so just a reminder, the executive committee is collecting feedback on what the goals for, that would feed into how the superintendent evaluation will be structured is. So just a reminder for that. And then we present something for the board next month.
And the board minutes, you guys can all read it, he's got it in the board book, so. It's a good article there, really is, so. And just a reminder, we have a picture tonight. Who's got the camera?
We do.
Yes, you're supposed to be ready for a picture. I think. Okay, so stay afterwards, take a picture quick. Any other board highlights? I think we need to thank Mary Schmidt again, and I need to thank the FFA for coming over to Gray Eagle for the tractor pulls. They help us out every year. Any other highlights you got?
I'd like to specifically send one to Brad and Barb because They have been making up for that lack of a staff members in 21st century. And, with no real guarantee of like, out of the kindness of their hearts, is probably the best way for me to put it. Otherwise I'll get too many words, but community appreciates it, and programs that continue because of your work and dedication make positive experiences for our community.
Yep. Anything else for highlights? Okey-dokey. Unfinished business, I think that's where we put the policies that Lori wants to talk about.
Well, I actually talked to Barton last week on a few of them, so. We just had we had some discussions on a few, especially with the attendance, a few things that came up. And he said I should bring them up tonight for us to discuss them. And one of them, I told him I didn't like the word application with the unexcused absences, so we came up with a different word because it sounded like you had to fill something out.
Look up what I put down, can't remember what I used.
But I don't know if we need to maybe put it, I don't know if you wanna be more specific with that, like in writing or in verbal, just so that they know. You had,
I gotta find it.
I highlighted it, I had, you had put application, you put notification.
Notification.
But I'm
Yeah,
wondering
I
if we
can
need
come up
to
with
do,
some in more detail.
just so that everybody is on the same page of, oh, I'm just gonna call, or I'm gonna,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
have it in writing, or
Yeah.
it could be
Well, I
either.
could put in there, the reason I do it that way, this is a board policy, I don't wanna get too customer friendly, I wanna keep in the legal framework.
right.
Because again, I'm not a lawyer and I don't even play one on TV, so I'm really skittish about
And
that.
I don't remember in the handbook what it
So-
said, I know I have that.
Application was the word MSBA used.
Right,
And I get where they're coming in, there's what, 4 or 5 different uses for the word application, but, so notification, you gotta let us know. I mean, I can if you want me to, but I really want you guys to make that decision of what wordage you want, because it's really a legal document, I don't feel real comfortable doing that.
well, I know you were going to do it differently in the handbook, correct?
Correct, that's more laid back, easier
Right.
to understand, you can elaborate and go in depth with those things.
Right. Yep, and then we also discussed the, work at home as a unexcused, correct?
Right now, yeah.
Is what it is?
Right, I think what we had talked about, refresh my memory, when you had talked to me about that. We have to be, probably want to have a discussion, if we do that for one group, we gotta look at all our students. And one of the concerns we have is a number of our students, parents were working at Dan's Prize, packing plant, this is manufacturing sector, as opposed to agricultural sector. How do we balance those things out? The whole goal is not to have unexcused absences. I know we discussed those things today. I think one of the things came up and we had discussed is there's a lot of leeway already before you get, hit that mark where, hey, we got a problem here. The whole goal, and I know this is gonna be an ongoing, and we're both going to our law seminar in the next couple of months, and one of the discussions always is, and the state of Minnesota is starting to get a little concerned about that, is the number of absences, not just in our school, it's all over. Any more than 10, the state is recognizing that as a problem and it affects learning. Well, when our students average, more than that, I think that driving that point home of, you need to get there. This is your job, just get to take off and go. And that's why we built into having pre-approval, and no, the state of Minnesota doesn't recognize college visits, we do.
Right.
It's important. So just let us know you're going to college visit, and kids don't come back and say, I'm gonna just tell them I went to a college visit. No, I want to talk to your parents, are you going on a college visit? So we have that as a pre-approved. If you get pre-approved, we're not gonna put it down as an excuse. It's just that notification, but drives that point home, you need to be at school.
Right.
I don't know how you want to handle that, that is entirely up to you as a board how to handle that, but, I think we just need to be concerned about that, because I don't want, this group, that group, and then we got it'd just be a mess. We need to
And I
look
think
at
the
it.
other thing we talked about were the appointments other than medical appointments.
Correct.
That some of them have to be done during the day that can be helped.
Don't disagree, and I think, jump in here, Tammy, I just wanna talk. I'll talk all night. Yeah, you're correct on that, and it's really up to you. I get nervous when this is coming from MSBA to stray too far from the mark, because that could come back and then we're.
Right, I just, like, cause with that, the list, I think, to me would, as a, like a parent who maybe speaks another language, you look at it and they might get scared because that's what they're gonna go to, they're not gonna read the wordy paragraphs, they're gonna go to the list. And be like, oh, I can't do this, and I can't do that, and I can't do this, kind of thing,
There's always that threat, you are correct.
just to make it clear for, all the other languages.
Right.
Kind of thing that might not,
Balance.
At the end of the day, we want the kids at school.
Right.
And so if it deters even one person from missing one day, it's one more day we get the kids at school.
But then they're like, oh, well, I'm just gonna lie and say they were sick because, they had to work from home or, help us at home or,
Yep.
that's, I mean, my kids don't have an issue with being gone, but
And I'll
I
be
can see
honest,
some others
And there
that do.
is like a grace period, so they don't get dinged immediately, they get 3 unexcused days, without any consequences.
Okay.
And so there is that grace period.
Okay.
And so ultimately, our goal is to have them here because we can't teach them if they're not here.
Right.
So.
If it makes you feel any better, I mean, this one dates back to 2014, and we're, cleaning it up, making sure we're locked in legal, but we've never penalized kids. We've always gone the extra mile on all the kids. I think that's been more than abundantly clear with everybody in our community. I mean, we've never been sticklers, we've never penalized kids to go to college visit. Of course, we want you to. Take you on college visits ourselves. So I think we've been abundantly clear on that. We are very flexible. I think the biggest thing is we want to send that message, you gotta talk to us.
Right.
We really want to talk to us. Well, we'll help you out. We'll figure this out, so.
Well, and I just, I'm just hoping like people don't start coming up with different excuses and.
Yeah, I mean, it can always happen, but I think that's a smaller, I never run into, when we got a mushrooming of, parents saying, well, I'm just gonna allow this. I've never seen that. We've got great community here, I've never seen that. All our parents I've seen want their kids in school.
And as long as I think parents know, as long as they send an email or call.
Yeah, just have a conversation with us, so. I've never seen any problems, I don't know. Tammy doesn't either, she's never been.
Then I meet with families when there's any concerns, we meet a lot, and I explain all this in face to face so that.
So they understand
Yeah.
the whole, the legal policy versus
Yeah,
the
fact that
handbook.
it's a law that kids have to be at school.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Going down the line, if there is a problem arises or something, the policy can be amended or changed at any time, right?
And I've had that conversation, at the end of our handbook, before we get to the appendix, it says, the administration reserves the right to make, I can't remember how I worded it. In other words, I can do what I need to do to, take care of our kids and run the school. Obviously, we can't, you don't go way above the mark in the sense of, Protestant, skip that whole entire class type thing, but, because we have kids that get sick, need tutoring because they're ill. I mean, we have to figure out how to get them, the educational, experience. And those take some we have to accommodate the schools, make them even where they're at.
Just a point of clarity, there is a difference between a board policy, a handbook policy, and I'll just throw a procedure since we're talking about it. Like a board policy requires a board vote to change. And handbook policies are adopted and generally we bring changes here, but they're a little easier to change on the fly. They're like you don't want to be not following a board policy. That's a bigger issue than the handbook. You still want to be following the handbook policy, so it doesn't take you long. Board policies, you want to make sure you're following the letter of that. There's a little more room for interpretation, I believe is what I'm getting at with your handbook policies, and then procedures are more internal. providing you information, administration can make changes as necessary.
I will say that if you look at the handbook policy, and for both of us, we're gonna be going to our seminars, mine's in September, I think, or would you say November? November. We'll get updates. Now, MASSP has been very good about getting ahead of things, but Roger Erickson, our lawyer slash representative, he is going to give us more information, so I might be bringing you, I'm not for sure, at the next board, well, maybe by October board meeting about, maybe we need to make changes for best practices. I don't think it'll be anything major, we had the major ones about 3 years ago, that was when we had 15 changes with that 1 year, it was just horrendous, but I'm not anticipating that, but just so you know, so.
Are you good now, Lori, with that? Yep. And I believe we need a motion to accept those 3 changes. Motion to, somebody needs to make the motion to accept those.
I'll make a motion to accept the policies at 501, 503, 514, 524, 524.5.
Okay.
Okay, but we didn't talk, I have a question about the cell phone policy too. And the handbook.
Well, we're doing the policies, dear.
Oh, well, the policy hasn't changed, correct? For the okay. Okay.
You good?
Yep.
Okay, then I need a second to Jeremiah's motion.
I'll second it.
Is there any more discussion on the policies that we're gonna approve? Any more discussion? Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Now, I'm just saying one more thing, I'll quit talking, I promise. There was a question about the length of it. Put the appendix in there, because it really backs up the handbook policy, because it reinforces it from the standpoint of, here's a school policy, here's why this is here. That being said, the same keeps getting a little bit longer every year, because this gets added and can't stop that. We're not printing these anymore unless it's budget plus, I think, just because it takes 2,000 reams of paper to get through one handbook. So this will be sent out electronically to parents, to students, they will have to sign that they have received it, we've got that worked out, working with Mitchell and Dave and Skylar on that end of it. So that, I'll still print it if somebody really wants it, that's not a problem, I'm not printing out. Still be going through paper like that, but just so you know that. So will anybody read it? I hope they do, makes their life easier and everybody's life easier, but no guarantees, but it keeps us legal.
Question on that then, so you're saying your PD, or you're sending out an email to everybody, and then they're signing saying that they received it and reviewed it? So people that don't speak English, how are they supposed to?
We're gonna be doing both, because I have Guado already translating this.
Alright, sounds good.
Yeah, we cover that. Parent Square does that for us, it's really a nice tool to have in the tool chest
Sounds good.
for our kids, so.
Alrighty. We got those discussed, then we're on to the unfinished business, which is the approval of the handbooks for the high school and the elementary. Any questions or discussion?
Is milk really 70 cents? No?
What's that?
Is milk really 70 cents?
Probably, yeah.
Because when we approved it last month, it was, the bids were like 30 cents. So we always have them around it.
It came from the district office, so.
So would that be you? Would that be a you question?
We have to check into it.
Okay.
I don't know that off the top of my head. There are some mandates from the Department of Ag. I know we had to increase like our adult meal prices, for example, because we just had a food service audit. So let me check on the milk and
Okay.
get back to you.
I remember when it was like 35 cents a few years ago.
Yep.
I think there's some sort of formula we have to utilize.
So you're not making money on the kids, right?
No.
Because I think the bid had it at 31 cents a little carton.
Right, and
now-
typically, I mean, sure, they take extra milks, but very rarely because of the free
Well,
meals that
isn't
goes
it
with the
because,
meal.
like, if they bring their lunch,
Yeah, if they bring a
take
cold
a
lunch
milk,
and they take a milk.
then they get
have to
charged
charge
that?
Yep.
Well, something to keep in mind when they come up with the like meal prices, like you're also factoring in the staffing to prepare and serve the meals. So like it will be more than what we're paying. I guarantee you we're not.
You're not making money off that.
Yeah.
Just, I remembered a couple of years ago, it was, 35 cents and it went up like.
Inflation's been insane.
Right.
Okay, so I guess we discussed handbooks and stuff. Do you have any questions for the two principals?
The cell phone, I know you had mentioned last month you added breakfast and lunch.
Breakfast, I delineated out, I had a conversation and with some of my staff and they thought, well, maybe we should just, might wanna do this. Cause I send this out, and I just don't send and create everything. I wanna get this out, I pass it amongst my staff that are around, that's the office staff. And we had a discussion, maybe that would be best to make sure it's delineated out. Not both breakfast and lunch, no,
So they could still use them at lunch?
No, we have it as no, not at breakfast and lunch.
Okay.
Okay, now, they keep them in their locker. They carry them between classes, doing a check or whatever the case may be. Now, the question will come up if we have a medical situation. Don't let us know, we'll let you keep it because, we have to make these accommodations because there's situations that do arise. The whole idea is to get these kids talking with each other, get these cell phones out of their hands for a school day for 165 days. Can you work with us on that? That's our goal. It's gonna be a little tough to start with, but I think delineating that out for breakfast and lunch, hey, talk with each other. You gotta, and I'll be honest with you, do we have kids on cell phones at lunch? Yes, we do. The house, if you go in there, it's a little noisy, which is a good thing. It's not bad noise. Some noise is good, and the noise is them talking. So it's not like dead silence in there and you walk in, there's everybody on their cell phones. We don't have that. So kids are already talking with each other, and we're gonna try to foster that and keep that growing. And that's the whole goal with
And the staff will, I just feel like the staff is gonna have a hard time at lunch trying to, especially at the secondary, monitor those who are on their cell phones.
It's gonna be, you guess what? We're gonna have to deal with some of that stuff. That's okay.
We'll
get there.
There's a lot of kids, I've been at the lunch, out there at the lunch,
Will their kids be sneaking, will kids sneak their cell phones? Of course they will. I understand that this is gonna happen. It's gonna take time. We have to walk this walk. That's not a bad thing. And the positives behind the kids not on their cell phones at lunch, and I reference most locally and recently would have been the fourth grade, which you had said, when they did their little experiment. The benefits far outweigh the costs, I'll say that much right now. And them keeping it in their locker, obviously then you have AI capabilities, you have, all the things that people look for shortcuts on, we're trying to avoid that. The biggest thing is getting people to talk and communicate, especially their children. Adults, we're bad enough with that.
You don't mind me adding
No, go
to
ahead.
what you're saying, like, the research done lately with cell phones, the thing that sticks out to me as a dad is the impact on stress. And so what they have found when you do have a cell phone policy that minimizes the use is that part of the stress our youth are going through is that little buzz in the pocket and then like, what does it say? And what the research has been showing is that when nobody has it and they're not texting each other, now obviously there's people that sneak into the bathroom and I'm not gonna deny that, but like their stress levels come down and their ability to pay attention goes up. And so like, even outside of a strictly academic, it shows a lot of mental health benefits. And when I talk to the kids in school, like one of the biggest things is that, like when I did something dumb as a kid, I didn't have to worry about YouTube. Like, it happened, it went, we talked about it, and now those things can follow kids home, which we can't stop the following home part, but we can at least give a period of time where, you don't have to constantly see what your friend told you, which is probably like self-raw, but that's what I've seen in the research.
Right.
Obviously, we still want to be able to contact parents in emergencies, and we still want kids to be able to do that, but and I've heard that from other superintendents who've implemented cell phone policies, is that there's an adjustment period, but it does impact the student's stress and mental health in a positive way.
Right. No, like with no cell phones, are they gonna, like, if activities change, that's, you know, like, my only, like, concern that I've had from parents, like, what if there's an activity change, is it gonna be how, you know, like, to have my kid tell me to, I'm riding the bus, I need to be picked up, you know, kind of those kind of communication things that they're worried about not having a lot of time.
I'll chime in here, if that's okay.
No, go jump right in, please. That's really
My
good.
coaches are pretty active, I would say, on their Team Reach platform. So if I call them and say, hey, this is canceled, whatever, they're very good at going in right away. I will update the R school, I guess it's Arbiter now, but that system usually right away too, like I have an 8-step process for when that all is done. And with the R school Arbiter scheduling, as soon as either one of us go in and make that change, it's active the moment we press save. There has been in the past, and Lisa's kind of helped me navigate this, whereas the public platform and mine, when it was our school, wasn't always jiving. But I think that's been worked out. But I would say my coaches are very active about, as long as the parents are in the Team Reach code, which they've all had their preseason meeting, they've all gotten their fall Team Reach codes. The winter and spring coaches have their preseason meetings too, with the Team Reach code, as long as the parents and the kids are in that. More so the parents, and the kids are gonna hear me or Mrs. Langford make the announcement on the intercom. I've blasted out on Facebook or Instagram pretty actively. As soon as Megan can post it, it's posted.
Can you even do something like on Parent Square, just, you know, even sending out a message that way that parents would get to, you know, just.
We do.
I know Brad does it a
Yeah.
lot, you know, I got, which they said was
Mitchell's,
nice.
I'll have to look at my access
That's
to
easier
Parent
for you?
Square and what that looks
Well, and
like.
even just any other activities, like Bolton, you know, all those other,
Yeah.
you know, like no activity buses or,
Yeah.
you know, practice has changed from the elementary to the high school, or,
Yeah.
you know.
But sometimes a lot of that, like also the whole school district parents don't need to know that, hey, practice has changed, it's now in the high school.
Other gym, right.
Third station gym instead of your practice at the elementary gym, like that stuff.
And that's
should
kind
go
of
out
what
at
they're
that
wondering.
Team Reach avenue.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm a parent and my kid's not in that, don't.
Right.
So I would say between Facebook, Instagram, Team Reach, and the facility, our school arbiter thing, I would say that those avenues, I think we're covered pretty well.
Then we're not banning the cell phones from school, they're
Right,
just
it's just, you know, like the parent would say, you know, I don't wanna go to the high school and sit and wait for 20 minutes when now it's at the elementary.
They would have, they would have in between class
Yeah.
Yeah.
to send you a message.
Right.
Yep, and two, like, I will go on the intercom as soon as that has changed with the change, and then Audrey is very good at updating the announcements that are online.
And I think this is probably more from like newer parents kind of coming in, like, what happens about this?
Yeah.
You know.
And Kelsey's is very good about being on that on the intercom.
Right.
So much so that I think I got her convinced to sing the national anthem.
No way. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Meteorologist, singing.
All right, is there any more you principals want to say about your handbooks before we approve or disapprove? Anything else you need to bring out? Are there any other questions from board members?
Well, I just have to say thank you for all the work.
She said thank you for all of the work that you did. I'll have to go back and find all my notes.
Are there any other questions? Any other comments? Then I need a motion to approve all the handbooks as presented.
I move to approve the handbooks.
I'll second that.
Tom motion, Chuck makes the second. Is there any further discussion? Any further discussion or comments?
5 pages insert.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, then we're on to new business, and please bear with me. The donations for the month are $100 from Callie Christensen for Stan Hortness Memorial, $10 from Adolph and Willetta Anderson from Stan Hortness Memorial, $715 from Janelle Johnson for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $50 from Gerald and Jan Ruda for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $50 from Roger and Phyllis Gunderson for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $25 from Vicki and Todd Rupert for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $100 from Bernie and Donna Brand for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $100 from Douglas and Carla Card for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $100 from Craig and Joan Hansen for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $40 from Mary Fiddler for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $75 from Mark and Kelly Tilson for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $100 from Donald Hausauer for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $250 from Daniel and Gail Lean for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $50 from Dean Adams for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $50 from Tim and Jeannie Sawtell for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $200 from Mark and Beverly Busel for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $40 from Broadway Chiropractic Center, Dr. Stephen Hortness for the Stan Hortness Memorial. $3,705 for the golf program from the Long Prairie Lions Club. $500 from Jenkins Iron and Steel for the weight room fundraiser. $300 from Budget Inn Long Prairie for 21st Century. $500 from Anderson Custom Processing Incorporated for youth football. And there's a typo on the $75 for okie dokie. So then I will need a motion to accept these.
The motion.
Lori.
I'll second it.
Tom. Any other discussion of the donations? And we wish to thank all of them. They're very, very wonderful. Any more discussion?
What does anybody know about that Stan Hortons Memorial?
It'll go into the Dollars for Scholars account, and they'll give a scholarship to us, maybe more than one student in his memory.
Oh.
He was
So the principal here.
Yes. Yep.
Any further discussions?
I say one thing, I would like to just recognize Centricare and Jeremiah for what they did for us we had no weight room this summer, if you didn't know, and Centricare picked it up for all of our kids to go there. They charged us a nominal fee. I mean, it was nothing, and we know that, and our kids took advantage of it, and it was awesome. I think if we would have to charge that out, I'm sure it would have been in the thousands and thousands of dollars, and they charged us under $8,000. So hats off to Centricare and the Wellness Center. We want to make sure that, because I know that's not a donation, but it is a donation. It's a huge donation, and we don't know what we would have done without it.
We would have had to move the weight room
So,
over here.
so it was awesome. So thank you and thanks to Centricare.
I will say that all the staff said that the kids were all super respectful, did a great job. Anything they used, they did put back right away. I witnessed it a few times just after the students left, just walking through to ensure everything was picked up and put away. And they did, never caused any issues, were always respectful to the other members, so it was a pleasure having them there.
I'm sure you played a big part in making that all work, didn't you?
I mean, I know a guy that kind of sets the rates there, so.
Thank you for doing that, Jill. Okay, any more discussion on the donations? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, then we have to talk about the resolution to continue with the United Way Backpack Attack Program. Any discussion about that? Tammy, that goes really well, doesn't it?
It really does, and we read out, we were really close to 300 bags a week towards the end of last year. This resolution just allows us to reapply for grant funding to pay for the program again for another year, so.
I'll make the motion to approve the resolution.
Lori's made the motion.
I'll second it.
Jeremiah the second. Any more discussion or questions on that? I'm sure we can all go and pack backpacks when it comes time. Any more discussion? Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Turn the page. LPGE activities, scholarship application for high school league activities. You wanna tell us a few words?
So, well, Amy and I were going through just everything that kind of was training her in. We just kind of wanted to make it more cohesive with what community ed kind of does and staggering our scholarship fees. If you're free, it's 75% off, and if it's reduced, it's 50. And then I have it broken down for grade and for first sport, second sport, third sport, the family stuff. We just kind of want to make it more cohesive all the way around through the activities department.
So you've had this, you're just making it,
So we've had it, it just hasn't been structured around free reduced.
okay.
And this form looks very self-explanatory to me.
And then too, kind of hoping it creates more people that will fill out the direct service forms.
We need folks to fill that out. So
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Lori has a motion. I need a second.
I'll second it.
Chuck. Any discussion on
Will these
that?
come out like when you send out the pre-activity, all that information?
So, families will have, the kids will come in and generally
Oh,
ask
that's
for
just
them.
ask, great.
And then Amy will be able to pull up, and then highlight what
What
rate,
needs to fill out.
and then that'll go home to mom, dad, guardians, whoever to fill out and bring back with,
Okay.
with their.
So you're not advertising it, you're just, if they come
Right, it's
in.
there, the kids, the coaches
They
know
know.
to,
Okay.
yeah, to know it's there.
And it's the same way, this will follow the community ed policy also. And our kids know, we try to tell them, hey, and tell the coaches, if you have a kid that can't pay, please
Don't
tell
turn
them.
them away.
Don't turn them away, tell them about the scholarship, and generally that helps them with that.
Okay.
I think last year, I just looked at today, so this comes from the Play It Forward that the Lions donate. I think my total was $4,868 last year that came out of that fund for sports registration, so kids are definitely utilizing it and know it's there for them.
I think we have a motion and a second. Do we have any more discussion on it? Any more discussion? Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And I think we are done.